Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey,
Hey guys.
and the Lord of Puppies, SDA.
Hi, guys.
And joining us as a special guest tonight is the Lord of Pecs, your boy Pat.
What's up, everybody?
And I'm your host, Scribe Light, the Lord of Punishment. So, how is everyone doing?
I'm doing good.
I'm good.
I'm abstaining.
Yeah, guys, Monkey is here with us essentially in spirit. He's not doing too well today, but he's dragged himself up to join us regardless. So we'll hope he stays on as long as he feels up to the task. Hello, chat. Hope everyone there is doing all right. It's been a relatively busy day in the news today. But before we get to that, for everyone's edification, in the description at the top is a link to a charity suggestion that came to us from Sylvanas Dark Angel. A friend of hers is raising money as a sort of sponsorship deal, so he'll shave his head for cancer kids. So if you take a look at the link, there's a little donate button down there. He's only looking for $750. And I think he's at like 318 of the $750 goal. So if you happen to have any extra bucks in that regard, consider going down there and contributing to that. But otherwise, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones movies, hit that like button if you have not already. And please, by all means, share our stuff. Uh-oh, it's Chaos Eve's birthday today.
Chaos!
Jacob Jett tells us Chaos Eve. Oh boy. Do we have it in us to sing happy birthday?
I'll sing. She's one of my patrons, so I'll sing to her.
Oh, there's a special. Okay. All right, let's get that
Yeah,
out
I
of the
can
way.
add my melodious voice to it.
Oh, wait, is Chaos in the chat? I wouldn't want to do this if Chaos isn't here. Is she? Okay. All right, just want to make sure. All right, here we go. And a 1, and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
To you.
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy
Happy
birthday, Chaos Eve.
Chaos Eve.
Happy birthday to
you.
And you.
Happy birthday, Chaos.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Chaos.
And thank you, Mr. Baker. This is the latest in the series for now. Uh-oh, have we reached the end? Due out later this year. Ad for the Spear of Atlantis by Andy McDermott. The last one? You mean we've done them all? Oh my gosh, it's been quite a journey. I almost feel like I've read those books at this point. Thank you, Mr. Baker. I'll get to work on that. Let's see. So, Pat, on the off chance, since it's been a while since we've had you on the off chance that no one has any idea who you are, and the fact that since this was a late notice thing, I should have put your channel link in the description, which I will do right now. But otherwise, why don't you tell people what you do and what your channel's about?
Oh, for those who don't know me, my name is your boy Pat. I do YouTube videos. I'm basically making videos about feminists, SJWs, a lot of crazy stuff that goes on in the world. I am anti-snowflake like crazy. You'll also find me on Twitter, where you'll see me basically, posting a whole lot of stuff, sharing the Lords of the Night as always, because I love this show. And that's what I basically do right there, Check me out. My channel.
I have put Pat's channel link in the description, so if you want to go check that out and possibly subscribe to him, which you should do, by all means, follow that link. Let's see. And thank you, Snubbirth. Don't know if it got sent, but Ears Journal was publicly released. Ears Journal. I don't know what that means. What's an Ears Journal? You guys know what that means? Okay, Snubberth, you're gonna have to clarify what that means. Speaking of Jim Jones, strangely enough, maybe coincidentally, in my little recommended bar beneath the stream that's happening right now, is the link to the Jonestown documentary.
Oh, nice.
So I think YouTube is listening in. Like the algorithm
it's the
knows.
FBI. Big brother.
Yeah.
They know. They found us.
Well, thankfully, the FBI is
They're
not going to tell
watching.
Broward County, so we don't have to worry about it too much. Let's see. Oh, Snubberth says, "Isn't Ears what Monkey calls the shooter?"
Oh, I haven't called him that.
What? The guy in Florida.
You're confusing me with someone else, Snub.
Yeah,
That hurts.
And I said this on, I think on Twitter or something, but the Florida shooter guy, when I first saw him, he reminded me of whatever the guy's name is that plays the main character in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Like if there had to be an actor to portray him in a movie, which I hope never happens, but if there was, it's that guy. What is it, Eddie Redmayne? Maybe that's it. Anyway, case or complete tangent.
Yeah, sorry, I had myself muted in case the dog barks. Eddie Redmayne is the main guy in Fantastic Beasts. Yeah, you're right.
Thank you. Nope. Florida shooter's nickname is Ears per Scooby. Oh, okay. Well, better that than actually saying his name, I suppose.
I don't think I've even seen a picture of him.
I saw it on CNN or whatever when we did the story. He's got ears. He's got radar dishes on the side of his head.
Yeah, he's got a set.
All right. So, anything to cover ahead of getting to the schnuzz?
Not on my part.
Not on my end.
Alrighty, and thank you, Point Curation. My country makes me sad sometimes. Yeah, Point was telling a story before the stream started. Point, would you share that story with us when we get to chat time? Because I'm curious to read that in more detail. I only got a little bit of it. But until then, we had breaking news just before the stream started. 5 Colombian soldiers have been killed in a terrorist attack. 5 Colombian soldiers were killed and 10 others were wounded Tuesday in an explosion, a statement from the army said. The army called the explosion an act of terrorism and blamed rebels. The statement said the incident took place in Notor de Santander, probably mispronouncing that, a northeastern region of the county bordering Venezuela. What the hell's wrong with Venezuela? While troops were involved in tactical operations. An improvised explosive artifact, interesting, was set off. The statements gave no other details. The incident comes a day after the leftist rebel group, the National Liberation Army, or ELN by its Spanish initials, said it would carry out a unilateral ceasefire during legislative elections next month. All right. So that was breaking news, if anybody cares, I suppose. Thank you, William Savage. An advertisement for fictional rare metal tooth bone replacements. Rare metals like vibranium? I can do that.
Vibranium teeth.
Have you seen Black Panther yet, Pat?
I said not yet. I'm going this weekend.
Okay.
I really hope you like it. I had a lot of fun with that movie.
I'm pretty sure I am. Like with all this social politics going on and all that right there. All it basically did was help boost the movie, and I'm just going basically being my own critic. I know it's going to be anything but what they're going by, because as you can see right now, ever since it came out, a lot of people who were praising the movies are not just condemning it.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
Are they? For what?
Oh yeah.
Because it wasn't as pro-black and social justice as they thought it was going to be.
Oh.
Well, they got their hopes up for nothing, and they're good for them.
I just thought it was a good movie.
Yeah, It was a decent flick. It didn't live up to the hype. I think the hype probably, maybe not to damage it or anything, but it gets your sort of expectations up for something much more profound, I suppose, than what it turned out to be.
I thought the characters were super duper fun, and I really enjoyed all the characters. I think was the best part about it.
Let's see. So, per the title of the stream, something suspicious happened today. 11 were struck ill after a suspicious letter arrived at a military base. 11 people fell ill after a suspicious letter was opened in an administrative building at Joint Base Fort Myer-Henderson in Arlington, Virginia on Tuesday, according to the Arlington County Fire Department. Of the 11 individuals who fell ill, 3 were transported to a local hospital and are in a stable condition. Quote, an envelope containing an unknown substance was received today aboard Joint Base Fort Myer-Henderson Hall. Personnel in the affected building took immediate preventative measures by evacuating the building, according to Major Brian Block. Quote, base officials and are coordinating. Okay, I'm reading it as it's written. With local hazmat teams and FBI, several Marines are receiving medical care as a result of this incident. No additional details are available at this time as the investigation is ongoing. Reminds me of the anthrax attacks post 9/11, but most of these kind of things do. Mm-hmm. And they never caught the person who did that. They
still saying it's an unknown substance, or do they know exactly what it is?
They haven't said. They haven't released any details.
Sorry, they never caught the person who did the anthrax attacks?
No, I mean, they suspected a couple of people, but they could never find any hard evidence.
Okay, I thought you meant this case. That's why.
No. Yeah, no, the anthrax attacks just after 9/11. Poisoned a bunch of people, and there was a big investigation into it. But so far as I know, they had one suspect they strongly suspected, but the guy killed himself. But all the evidence against him was primarily circumstantial, so far as I can tell. So anyway. Let's see. Thank you, Corey Suzuki. Ad for a millennial cocktail that uses Tide Pods called the Maltide or the My Tide. Okay.
Don't they actually got a shot? That's like they can basically making fun of like the little Tide Pod thing.
I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see, called the My Tide. All right. Yeah, I think that craze is pretty much dead now, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. I haven't seen anything lately.
Okay. At least I hope so, because I don't want anybody else dying from it.
They're trying to figure out what else they can put into their bodies.
I thought somebody like choked and got poisoned and died or something, like some old guy or whatever.
Oh.
So it wasn't even a millennial that died?
Well, he might have been old. Millennial, never mind. Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I'm hilarious.
Sorry, it took me a minute. I was like, but millennials, they're like born between blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry. My brain was like, but no.
Let's see what else we got. Such exciting news today. I mean, obviously, a bunch of people poisoned isn't exactly fun, but okay, so crazy person in America or foreign terrorism? I'm guessing the former.
Let's go foreign terrorism first. That sounds less fun. Sorry.
No. I was just speculating on who sent the letter. Not that I've got a news story on it.
Oh, I was like, woohoo!
Woohoo! Foreign terrorism.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh boy!
I thought you had really.
I thought we were picking topics ourselves.
Scribe.
I know. I'm just. I've set a pattern now, so there's expectations, and when I just say words.
Well, yeah, because we haven't done a news roulette thing in a while.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well, if you want to do potpourri, I do have 3 stories that essentially fall into that category. Okay, so we have Papa John's, we have Border Wall, and oh wait, that isn't a story. That was the charity page. I'm sorry, charity page. So Papa John's, Border Wall, charity page.
Well, okay, I guess charity page first.
Okay, so I'll just read the header to the charity page for those of you interested, and like I say, the link's in the description. This was posted by Harrison Hill is shaving to cure childhood cancers. I am shaving to raise money for childhood cancer research. I'm shaving my head to raise money for childhood cancer research. Did you know that kids' cancers are different from adult cancers? It's true. And childhood cancer research is extremely underfunded, so I decided to do something about it by raising money for cures. Now I need your help. Will you make a donation? Every dollar makes a difference for the thousands of infants, children, teens, and young adults fighting childhood cancers. Yeah. So anyway, the links in the description, guys. We were at 318 when we started, and we'll see where it's at by the time the stream's over if people are interested. Okay, that remaining Papa John's and Border Wall.
Border Wall.
Border Wall. Okay, Judge Curiel, if I'm saying that correctly.
Real quick, the Jack Cochran pointed out, he was like, SDA, you should have known better. Terrorism happens on your night.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. We got 2 days to go for the next terrorist attack. Judge Curiel, once attacked by Trump, rules border wall can proceed. U.S. District Judge Gonzalo Curiel has cleared one potential obstacle to President Donald Trump's long-promised border wall, ruling Tuesday that the administration has the authority to waive a host of environmental laws and other regulations to begin construction. Curiel's 100-page order does not mean construction of the wall will begin immediately. Congress has yet to authorize or provide funding for any new wall to begin the project. Thus far, the Department of Homeland Security has built several prototypes in San Diego, which was the focus of the lawsuit Curiel rejected. Curiel's ruling left little doubt that the DHS has broad authority to issue waivers, authorized in a cluster of laws passed by Congress in the mid-1990s to 2000s. Curiel was famously a target of Donald Trump's ire when he presided over a lawsuit against Trump University, which was ultimately settled after Trump won the White House. Yeah, so he was the guy who said something to the effect of the judge was biased in favor of immigrants or something like that, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah. So legally, the wall can proceed. Financially, not there yet. So one more thing to go.
Needs more money.
Yeah, I need to cut the budget on those $1 million hammers that the Pentagon uses. And so lastly, we have Papa John's. Papa John's is ending its NFL. Okay.
Sorry. Like I said, I have myself muted, so it takes me a second just in case the dog starts barking. But I think people need to be a little bit more aware of this because Scribe's right. The Pentagon might not be using like $1 million hammers, but it's like $600 hammers because of bullshit. Like, I'm sorry. It's a huge problem because we could have so much more money to work with and we could do like smarter spending without raising taxes, maybe even lowering them if we just stopped paying $600 per hammer because of some bullshit contract we have with a corporation. Drives me nuts. I'm sorry.
$600 for a hammer. I'm like, that hammer better be made of gold.
Well, it's not.
Platinum.
This is what happens is, the government gets private contracts with companies, and because the companies essentially have a monopoly, they make these contracts and they make these deals, and then we end up paying $600 per hammer. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely insane. And all of that needs to be adjusted because, like I said, I mean, that is so much money that we could be doing a whole lot with. And, taxpayer dollars do not need to be going to $600 hammers.
Okay. I could take a $2 hammer and do better than that.
And we could even lower taxes. I don't know. It's just drives me nuts. Sorry.
I wonder when I don't know how it works because I'm not a big government guy per se, or I mean I'm not as knowledgeable about government process as I probably should be. But how often, or if at all, is the Pentagon ever audited?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm curious about that, or like are contracts audited or anything like that?
I could actually ask. Well, he's my international law professor, but I can ask that. And
maybe somebody in chat already knows. I'm just curious, like how often.
I'm not actually sure.
Yeah, I assume somebody has to be overseeing the Pentagon's finances, but I'm just wondering if anybody's ever done like an actual deep dive into their finances.
Yeah, well, I mean, and this issue is not just the Pentagon. It's pretty much any contract that the government has with a corporation because, if the government needs hammers or whatever, they contract somebody to do it. To make them.
Yeah, Jack Cochran says the Stargate is expensive to run. You're absolutely right, Jack. All the secret projects and organizations that TV tells us exist, they're expensive. That's why we need $600 hammers. That's where that extra money's going.
Yeah, exactly. But it's pretty much every single facet of government that has any kind of contract with some kind of company. I mean, that's why government contracts are the best deals that a corporation can get, because they completely overpay for them.
Midnight Exile says, I'm sure everyone who's ever considered auditing the Pentagon has wound up getting caught with a hooker or dead.
Or both.
Okay.
Or both.
All of the above.
Thank you, Cryptic. And no bid contracts. Yes, there's that too. Yeah, I'm like Halliburton and all that other fun stuff. But that's a talk for 10 years ago now or whatever.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That just, all of that, that's something that like we were talking about recently, and it got everybody in class like upset. We were like, this is bullshit. So
this is bullshit.
Yeah, I'm still kind of on the this is bullshit run.
All right. Well, speaking of money going places, I guess that's the segue I can come up with. Papa John's is ending its NFL sponsorship. Ooh, Papa John's is breaking up with the NFL. The pizza chain, which last year blamed slumping sales on the NFL's handling of player protests, that sounds like a cop-out, is ending its sponsorship of the league. Quote, while the NFL remains an important channel for us, we have determined that there are better ways to reach and activate this audience, CEO Steve Ritchie said in a conference call to discuss the company's quarterly earnings. Papa John's has been a league sponsor since 2010. It will keep its partnerships with 22 of the individual teams. Last fall, then CEO John Schnatter received heavy criticism after he said Papa John's sales were hurt by the NFL's handling of protests by players who knelt during the national anthem. Quote, this should have been nipped in the bud a year and a half ago, Schnatter told investors at the time. The controversy is polarizing the customer, polarizing the country. The company later apologized. Let's see. Papa John's reported Tuesday that North American sales were down 3.9% from a year ago. The stock has lost a third of its value since June. That's not good. Let's see. Thank you, Snubbirth. Notice Skeptalk's Navy finance expertise. Oh, does Skeptalk know stuff? Okay, I'll scroll up in a second. Thank you, Sweeper Steven. Chatelet, everyone. And ad for Monkey Idea superhero movie about the Root. Superhero movie about the Root? Monkey, did you have an idea about the a Root superhero movie? Did I miss something or forget something? I'm asking Monkey. I'm asking Monkey to remember something. I'm sorry.
Oh, the Root, the Uncle Tom type superhero where he like because he gets whipped.
Oh, Toby. Right.
The
Roots, not the Root.
Not the Root.
Yeah, Roots.
Yeah, that idea.
Yeah. SDA to save the day.
There you go. So Toby Kunta Kinte superhero movie about Roots. All right, gotcha. Let me save that to my desktop so I don't lose it. I've never had a Papa John's pizza.
I have. They the more crust than there are pizza and all that right there, but it's like
yeah.
I don't see it as a huge loss for the NFL, but then again, it's like with everything that went on with this last season right here with the protest and the boycott and all that right there, I don't think it's going to be too much of a loss for both sides.
Thank you, Timothy Seelbeck. My dad works at the Pentagon in procurements and explained to me how the $600 happens. Not enough space in chat to effectively explain it. Okay. Well, you could type it into a notepad thing, take a screenshot, and then post that picture to Twitter, and then we could see it.
It's pretty complicated.
Okay.
It actually is a very complicated process. I think in like a couple of my political science classes and now my international law class, we've talked about it because it's just one of those weird things that the government does.
Skeptalk says $1,000 hammers are never budgeted. They come from efforts to figure out how much projects cost. The hammers are, in effect, scapegoats for poorly controlled costs, usually manpower.
Yeah, it's incredibly complicated.
So it's like a rounding figure. It's like we have to explain where this comes from, so just throw in hammers kind of thing.
Yes and no. Yeah, kind of, and not really, if that makes sense. I mean, because like the government
is this quantum theory at this point? It is, but it isn't at the same time.
Yeah, pretty much. Because the government's just bad with money, and so they have to, like Skeptalk said, explain where some of this money actually goes. And so, in effect, sometimes they're just throwing away money or they're mismanaging it or whatever. Either way, I think some reform would do the government some good as far as how they spend money and how these budgets end up working out.
Side note, so Corey Suzuki, if you check out Twitter, Jordan 250 has probably just made the best advertisement, the visual advertisement for your My Tide Pods drink that I could come up with. But I mean, I'll still do one, but that's decent. Thank you, Jordan. I think that's the thing to think about. That's all the news I had queued up. I don't know if anything otherwise exciting has happened in the last few minutes. I mean, there's Mueller investigation stuff as always. CNN's breaking news is, did Russians try to influence Trump's decision to run? ? Let's say they did. Who gives a shit? What is that? It's not illegal. It's like, hey, Trump, you should run for office. You're Russian. That's illegal. Is it? Whatever. I don't care, you guys. Come on, CNN.
It's the Russians.
It's the Russians. Oh, there is this. I don't know. That might end up in MSS News, so I'll just wait.
Yeah, Prospero, like Skep Talk just acknowledges too in chat, but Prospero also brings up another good point. They will also do something where they spend all of the money so that their budget doesn't go down. So they'll waste money just so that next quarter, whatever the budget is working, will stay the same amount or even go up. So sometimes they'll just allocate those numbers. So it's a combination of all the things, either mismanaged money, not wanting the budget to go down, and really ridiculous contracts that we have with private corporations. It's a combination of all those things and a couple of other factors. It's a very complicated issue, and it's something that, in my opinion, really needs to be fixed, because I think we could be doing much more sound things with people's monies.
Well, it's been going on since forever. I'd be surprised. And this is just me being cynical. Not that it shouldn't happen unless somebody comes in and actually says they're going to do something about it.
Oh, God. I can't, honestly, like, if I were the guy that had to fix that, I would not want that job.
Thank you, Point Curation. Ad for watermelon or other delicious fruit like limes. An ad for fruit. Okay.
What's more delicious than watermelon?
Kumquats.
I've never had one.
I haven't either. I just came up with the most ridiculous sounding fruit I could come up with, and then one.
That sounds like an orgasm.
No, it's an actual fruit, unfortunately.
God.
Kumquat. Hey, my little kumquat. Do we have any other?
Somebody pay for an ad about kumquats.
Well, he said any other kind of fruit, so I can make it an ad about kumquats.
Oh, man.
An ad about depraved kumquats.
Depraved kumquats? Okay. Geez, I don't know. I'll give it a shot. All right. So I put on a kumquat. Kumquat. That sounds gross. Okay. Any other news to go over before we get to MSS news?
No.
Yeah.
How you doing, Monkey?
I'm hanging in there.
You got any
little butt stories or anything?
Nothing that comes to mind.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Gregory Hurst. What is the government doing with all this wasted money? In other news, the Mueller investigation, ... Yeah, very good. Very good. Okay, guys, we're going to go to MSS News then. If you have stories you'd like us to read on the air, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSS News. Can't promise we'll get to them all, but we'll look at as many as we can. Why am I looking at Alec Baldwin's face? Okay, I guess this is why. This comes from Raymond Lewis. ABC orders talk show from Alec Baldwin despite controversial past and MSNBC disaster. I don't even know what the MSNBC disaster is.
Didn't he have a talk show that tanked?
Did he? Okay, that's how well I had no idea. ABC is betting big on Alec Baldwin, announcing on Tuesday that it has ordered a talk show series with him as host, despite his history of controversy and disastrous talk show at MSNBC. According to the network, the new show titled Sundays with Alec Baldwin. God, it sounds like a Saturday Night Live skit, honestly. Will feature the host in a very similar format to his successful WNYC podcast. Each hour-long episode will see him sit down for one-on-one conversations with 2 guests for an in-depth conversation. Okay, thanks for the repetition there, Fox, about the top pop culture topics of the day. Wait, we do that. Fuck you, Alec Baldwin. We already got that covered.
He's stealing from us.
Yeah, I know.
He's stealing stuff.
Thank you, Terry Diamantis. Did you choose Satsu as SDA's replacement so you could still call it MSS News? Shh! Don't give it away.
It's a secret.
The funny part is Terry thinks we're that smart.
I know, right? Yeah, totally
They're not. I can promise you that.
Because
Monkey just, I swear to God, the second Monkey heard that, he just went, oh, yeah. Instead of like, yeah, they noticed.
Thank you, Snubberth. An ad using kumquats and kumite let flow the creative juices. Oh, okay, so now I get the ad for kumquats, but then I have to do an ad for kumquats on the kumite.
Or you could do the original Jean-Claude Van Damme kumite.
No, Jean-Francois Van Damme. Jean-Francois. Okay. All right, I'll have some ideas for that, I'm sure. Yeah, so Alec Baldwin is stealing our thunder. That's what he's doing. Okay. Oh, Raymond Lewis sent another story, but it's really shocking and sad, and I'm going to avoid it because I don't feel like being depressed right now. But thank you, Raymond Lewis. That's an awful, awful story, though. Like, tragic, awful. Oh, okay. This one comes from Devil Fruit Zero. And this is posted on Ars Technica. Man removes Fed's spy cam. They demand it back. He refuses and sues the Feds.
What?
Okay. Last November, a 74-year-old rancher and attorney was walking around his ranch just south of Enceel, I don't know, Texas, when he happened upon a small portable camera strapped approximately 8 feet high into a mesquite tree near his son's home. The camera was encased in green plastic and had a transmitting antenna. Not knowing what it was or how it got there, Ricardo Palacios removed it. Soon after, Palacios received phone calls from the Customs and Border Protection officials and the Texas Rangers. Each agency claimed the camera as its own and demanded that it be returned. Palacios refused, and they threatened him with arrest. Palacios, who had run-ins with local CBP agents going back several years, took the camera as the last straw. He was tired of agents routinely trespassing on his land, and even after complaining several times, he was frustrated that his grievances were not being heard. Okay. And now he's suing the 2 agencies for trespass and for violation of his constitutional rights.
You are trespassing.
Interesting. It's the government places a spy cam on your land. That sounds not right.
It does. I say the camera's his.
Mm-hmm. Like what are they looking for?
Yeah, they'd have to admit, if the camera was theirs, they'd have to admit where they put it, and that's in his property, and he didn't give permission, so yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be an interesting lawsuit. And also, like, what was the camera doing there in the first place? They'd have to, I don't know if they'd have to disclose the whys and the wherefores, but if they want it back, they might. So, depends on what discovery is. We talked about the poisoned letter. Oh, that's not good. Okay, I hope this is... Okay, this might be more sort of morbidly funny than, like, tragically funny. New Jersey cemetery worker pinned in grave after concrete falls and buries him.
Ooh.
That's not good. An employee at a New Jersey cemetery almost joined those 6 feet under on Tuesday when he became trapped inside a grave he was digging. Peter Ferenci, I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly, 59, was digging a grave at Hanover Cemetery in East Hanover when an 800-pound concrete burial vault cover fell in around 10 a.m. Jesus. He was pinned at the bottom of the open grave by the slab of concrete. Law enforcement and public safety officials rushed to the grave to dig him out and reportedly used straps to manually lift the vault cover high enough to let him free. The cemetery worker was treated at the scene and later released from a nearby hospital. Well, lucky it didn't fall on his head. Holy shit. That sucks. I mean, of course, I guess it would
like, wow.
It'd be convenient if he died in there because it's like, okay, well, just, you know.
It would be convenient if he died in there.
Well, I mean, it's like you don't have to pay anything for the plot. He's already in the grave and whatever.
Well, I would imagine somebody else already owns it. They'd have to, like, negotiate.
Let's see. Jack Cockring.
Our
Sorry.
guy's already in there.
Jack the motherfucking Cockring. Sorry. This might be a deep topic territory, but it comes from the Very Smart Brothers over at The Root. The headline is colonizer the best word for problematic white people ever?
Oh, good God.
No, honky is the best word.
I know, right? I mean, honky.
Wait, Pat.
Yeah.
Pat, could you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Pat, could you get real close to your microphone and say, "Monkey, you're a honky."
Monkey, you're a honky.
Oh, that made my soul feel better.
You know what? For April Fool's, Monkey, you should totally put out a video that says, "Hey, everybody, it's the ranting honky."
It's the ranting.
It's like, I'm going to change my channel name to the ranting honky.
I'll do that next time I'm covering a race story.
There you go.
Oh, YouTube would love that.
Yeah, no shit. Go ahead and ban me for calling myself a honky. Let's see how that goes.
Okay. Now I'm reading this headline, and I'm cynical enough to say this sounds like it might be a hoax, but I'm going to read the story.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay. Not that the story is a hoax, but that the subject of the story might be a hoax. This also comes from Jack the motherfucking Cockring. Black woman found a stuffed monkey on a noose with racist note on her desk after gun control debate.
What?
That's stuff.
The racist note was signed "Whites for Trump." I like I say, when given the pattern of things in the past, I can't help but wonder if this isn't a self-imposed offense. But let's see. Terry,
call me skeptical.
Yeah, call me skeptical. Yeah, Terry Seiler was involved in a debate about gun control with her colleagues at her workplace in Tampa, Florida. Florida woman.
Mm-hmm. Florida woman.
When she returned to her desk the next day, she found a stuffed monkey on a noose with an egregious racist note attached. Seiler shared photos of the stuffed monkey on Facebook last Wednesday. The note taped on the monkey read, quote, "You are getting deported back to Africa, and that will make America great again." It was signed "Whites for Trump." Another note attached to her computer screen read, "Nigger bitch." Her post has been shared nearly 50,000 times. In an interview,
I'm saying, like, this is some skeptical stuff right here, man.
In an interview with the local news, Seiler said the incident made her feel threatened. Quote, "I felt threatened. I didn't feel safe. That is a blatant boldness." I'm quoting her here. "That is a blatant boldness and a hate crime," she said. "It's a monkey with a noose around its neck. What message do you think I'm going to take from that?" Unquote.
Time out. Scrappy in chat says that's already been found out to be fake. If you have a link for that, Scrappy, let us know.
Let's see. When was this posted? Yeah, this was posted yesterday. Okay, so something's come up to show that was
that's
fake?
What Scrappy said.
Okay. Well, if you've got an update, Scrappy.
Yeah, I'd love to see that right there.
Okay. Yeah, so my instincts may have been correct. I guess we'll find out. If Scrappy's got a link, tweet it to us or put it in the chat. We'll take a look. Okay, this one comes from Paul Smith. Thank you. The next 6 minutes. Did the stuffed monkey pull off her hijab? Yeah. We get so many of those stories now.
Scrappy says it's all over Twitter. Okay.
Okay. Well, can you retweet us or something? Because I'm curious.
Let's see.
I can't read this because the news site is wanting me to get rid of my pesky ad block. So never mind. I'll just read the headline. Deputies, 2 students arrested in Arizona high school threat They set up a GoFundMe to buy the ammo. I'm glad those kids were that stupid, honestly.
Yeah.
2 students were taken. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What was it talking about now?
2 students were taken into custody after they set up a GoFundMe account to raise money for ammunition to shoot up Combs High School in Santan Valley in Arizona.
Hell?
Yeah,
My God.
that's as much as I can get from the caption.
What the hell's wrong with people?
I'm glad they were so stupid in this instance, but yeah. Okay, this is a Florida. This has got to be a Florida. It is a Florida woman. Okay, this comes from Mike Unstinks. Mike Unstinks. We talked about him last night. Her fiance wouldn't crack her back, so she shot their dog.
Dear Christ!
I love it.
Jesus.
I love it already.
What the fuck?
Crack my back or the dog gets it.
Tarpon Springs. The argument that ended in the death of a 2-year-old dog started with a request, according to police. Giselle Taylor, 27, wanted her fiancé to crack her back early Friday. He didn't, so she went into her garage, grabbed her 9mm Heckler & Koch semi-automatic pistol out of her car, loaded it, and then went to shoot the dog.
Why take it out on the dog? Like, what the dog do?
She told the police she intended to use the gun to scare her fiancé, but when she didn't get the response she was hoping for, police said, she pointed the 9mm gun at their boxer and pulled the trigger. The bullet went into the dog's upper left torso, killing the pup. The report does not include the dog's name. Okay. Taylor drove away from the scene but was stopped by police shortly afterward. Taylor was arrested on a charge of aggravated animal cruelty. She was booked into the Pinellas County Jail and was released after posting $5,000 bond. Holy fucking shit, lady.
Because he wouldn't crack her back. You can do that yourself with a chair.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Shoot a 2-year-old dog? What the fuck is wrong with you?
On the other hand, that twist there made me laugh almost as much as in Anchorman where the dude kicks the dog off the bridge.
That was the funniest part of that movie. I laughed so hard in the theater.
It's the only real funny part of that movie, but it's awesome.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. San Diego is kind of good too.
Oh yeah, that is. You're right. You're right. Shot the dog. That's man.
Let's see, we talked about Heather Locklear last night.
Can I just say, in her defense, at least she didn't shoot him. I mean, I know shooting the dog is wrong, but at least she didn't become homicidal over it.
Yeah. I said he must have been really close to the dog.
Now, you don't stick your dick in crazy, but she's not completely crazy, so you can still get a hand job from her.
Mr. Baker, I understand what saying Mike Unstinks means if you say it fast enough. I'm just playing dumb for the sake of playing dumb. You know, like Michael Hunt, etc. Yeah, no, I get it. Let's see. Shiogorath. What's this? Oh, a story from the root.
I know, and I'm sad, and we're just going to pretend like you guys didn't just read that story.
Oh, the dog. Yeah, that's
talk about it.
Okay, all right. This
doesn't sound like you suffered.
This comes from Shiogorath.
Fuck you, monkey.
Whoa, that's honky to you. Woman who lied to police about 3 black men raping and kidnapping her faces 0 years in prison.
Color me surprised.
Were they 3 real black men, or did she make them up?
I think she made them up.
Did she? Okay. The beautiful blonde Texas Becky monster. This is coming from The Root, by the way, so this is the author speaking. The beautiful blonde Texas Becky monster who falsely told police that she was raped and kidnapped by 3 black men agreed to a plea deal that will result in the extreme penalty of never being punished for her crime. On March 8th, 2017, police in Denison, Texas responded to a call that Brianna Rochelle Harmon was missing and the door to her vehicle was open with her personal items scattered on the ground near her automobile. A few hours later, Harmon walked into a nearby church, bloodied, bruised, and discombobulated, wearing nothing but her underwear. According to the Herald Democrat, Harmon told the police that she was kidnapped by 3 black males wearing ski masks and gloves. Harmon explained how the roving band of masked thugs, obviously roaming the area looking for white women to defile, snatched the 18-year-old out of her car, took her to a wooded area, and gang raped her. But Harmon bravely fended off the imaginary Negroes in an epic knife fight from which she luckily escaped with only a few scratches on her legs. She fled to the church and recounted her story to officers, who began searching for the African rape squad before they could attack another white woman. The alleged rape of an innocent white girl angered people in the community and around the country. Everyone began searching for the evil men who stole Harmon's purity. Even though no one claims to have saw something, the alt-right began explaining how they had been warning the world all along about how black men, unstable to control their animalistic lust for legal envelope-shaped Caucasian cupcakes. Whoa, okay.
Yeah, way to describe.
Yeah, that's great. I love the alliteration. Let's see. After police questioned black men in the area and were unable to find the three-man white girl rape team, Harmon eventually confessed that she might have made up the part about the black men and the part about being kidnapped and the part about being raped. Harmon admitted that she had cut herself and her jeans because she was upset about possibly breaking up with her boyfriend. When she realized that her mom might be upset about the jeans, Harmon said she just made up the stuff about the group of masked rapists because, well, you know, they're black. Yeah. So does she, okay. Did Tawana Brawley ever face any criminal charges?
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
Al Sharpton's a household name.
So it's not really, I mean, it's not really a double standard. Like when you look at it that way, I guess it's not really a double standard. I mean, I think there needs to be a standard, but
yep,
they're not. It's not like they're treating her differently than.
Well,
no, my problem with this is that she did make it about race, and they're running with the race card of it when this is not something that is unusual. This has happened before, for fuck's sake.
False reporting is a crime. She could be fined for, the costs of the investigation or whatever. Let me find out what exactly she was charged with, if anything. Let's see. In Texas, deferred adjudication means that Harmon will enter a guilty plea on what? Okay. On Thursday, Harmon pleaded guilty to 2 third-degree felony counts of tampering with physical evidence, a third-degree felony count of tampering with a government record, and a state jail felony count of tampering with a government record. The charges meant that Harmon faced 30 years in prison and tens of thousands of dollars in fines. She's very remorseful for what she did, says her attorney, blah, blah, blah. Of course, we'll be asking for deferred adjudication, and they'll be asking for regular probation. In Texas, deferred adjudication means that Harmon will enter a guilty plea, but it will not be listed as a conviction. Upon successful completion of a period of community supervision, the charges against Harmon will be technically dismissed.
I think it's important to note here, because I know people are angry about this, but I also think it's really important to note that plea deals get a whole lot of flack in situations like this. And I'm not saying whether they should or shouldn't, but it's also very important to note that plea deals, especially for a first-time offender, are very common.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems pretty stupid, and she's rightly being targeted for criticism for having done that. I don't think it's. I mean, I mentioned the Tawana Brawley case. She was another teenager who got caught up in telling a lie that other people took and blew out of proportion on her behalf. Does that make what she did right? No. Does that make what she did criminal? To an extent, yes. So far as I know, Tawana Brawley didn't have a previous criminal record before that either. So, how far do you punish a kid who does something stupid that gets blown out of proportion? I don't know. So
no. I don't know, to an extent to where they know I'm not going to do that again.
One would hope. I mean, an example should be made to a certain extent, but like say, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Whatever. Not the end of the world. I mean, if she had accused a specific individual or something and tried to ruin somebody's life directly, and I understand that, painting the entire black male community isn't exactly that much better either. That'd be a different story.
But you're right. It's one of those cases where the victim here is more or less the taxpayers as a whole and the police department, rather than a human being who was genuinely like defamed and was fired and like had his life ruined, or I guess in this case, because it was 3 people, had their lives ruined. Fortunately, none of that happened.
Thank you, Gregory Hurst. The Root. We don't want alleged rapes investigated. No, it was investigated. It's just that she was lying.
Yeah,
They should investigate that kind of thing. If somebody, walks into a church all bloodied and beat up, well, until you have evidence that says otherwise, you have to, sort of investigate it as an assault until you know that it's not.
Well, yeah, I mean, because honestly, that kind of thing takes a lot to stage, because who would purposely bloody themselves to.
Anarcho-capitalist. Scribe Light, I heard you're into BDSM. Is that a question? No. Okay. Well, let's call it there and move on to YouTube time. Guys, thank you so much for all the stories. Sorry I didn't get to all of them, but some just got more attention than others, for better or ill. So, SDA, what are you up to?
I was at school today, so I didn't explicitly work on anything, but my second Teresa J. Martin video is coming out tomorrow morning, and I'll also be releasing an SDA video. So, yeah.
Okay.
right.
I'll go next because I'm relatively quick. I'm working on a video. I talked about it last night, I think. I cut the audio before the stream. I have to edit it and clean it up and stuff, and then I have to assemble the video. It's on it's going to be a relatively long one, so to speak. That's what she said. It's 3 diversity officers from 3 different companies on a panel discussion talking about their jobs, essentially. And I find that stuff just fascinating because it's rare that you get 3 people who have a job that almost no one can ever define, trying to define their jobs in 3 different ways. So it's something else. Jack Cochran says, I was going to be at school today, but 500 yards. Har. That's gross.
I got that immediately. I just want to point that out. Yay!
All right.
Anyway, I'll be putting that together probably tomorrow. So I hope to have it out tomorrow, right before stream, so that everybody will be tortured by the fact that I put out a 40-minute video or something right before stream starts. Otherwise, that's me. Monkey, what have you been up to, or are going to be doing?
Laying on the floor, moaning in pain. I do have a lead on a video, and if I can sit up straight, I'll get it done. But I don't want to talk about it because,
Do you have any zombies killing tonight?
No, we do that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We do have Yosef coming to hang out with us tomorrow, guys.
That's right.
And I'm hoping to be in better shape for that. That's all I have for me.
Get some good rest tonight.
Yeah. And as our guest, Pat, you get the last word. What have you been up to?
Oh, this morning I released a long blabbering video about over the weekend I've been talking to a lot of people about the whole situation that went down at NYU and about the whole, race issue and stereotypes and all that right there. So one of the people who I'll be talking to named Thorns, she had, threw me a video about, there's this show that comes on TV called Supreme Justice with this black judge named Judge Karen. And they had a case on there about this one black lady who sued a white lady for like $4,800 in like lost income because she ended up losing her job because they were 2 co-workers together and they had to share a space. But I guess they weren't getting along. And so the white girl would basically, trying to make peace offerings or whatever. I don't know if she was doing it maliciously or whatever, but she was like bringing and offering the girl like chicken and watermelon and all that right there. And the girl started seeing it as racially offensive. It wasn't until where she explained to the judge that, she had brought in some cotton branches or whatever to like decorate her side of the cubicle. And so when she explains all to this right here, the judge just automatically takes the black girl's case and she just starts going off on the white girl. Like, so you doing all this right here and that, you know, and like, and nothing went into your mind that this might be seen as offensive. So it's like, as soon as she heard all that going, what the black girl explained, she automatically took this black girl's side. You know, like the white girl couldn't hardly explain anything. But then she asked the black girl, like, why she didn't report this to her, you know, to her management. But the, you know, and the girl said that she couldn't because, you know, by that time it was too late. She was escorted from a job because she had threw like the cotton at the white girl. So I'm like, in my video, I'm saying, so you're suing this girl for $4,800 in lost income because you assaulted her and it ended up costing you your job. So you're trying to get it back through the judge. So in the end, like, you know, according to the show, that, you know, she tugged at the judge's heartstrings and the judge ended up awarding her the money. And I'm like, that was kind of jacked up, and that was kind of like like unfair ruling because, you know, this girl got to go out of $4,800 out of her pocket simply because this girl got up in her feelings because she thought the white girl was portraying racist stereotypes, which she probably was doing maliciously. And just because, you know, like she sit up here and she cried racism, you're going to award her all this money because of something that she did.
Yeah,
so I made a video about that.
I was thinking about that on the way home from work because I watched your video earlier today, and I thought, you know, I think the judge ruled incorrectly. You know, it wasn't anything that the one girl did to make the other girl lose her wages. That was all on her. But at the same, but you know, setting that aside, you know, I can't really understand how someone the white lady had to be either absolutely oblivious to the world not to understand how those three items combined in relation to a black person could easily be seen as, you know, racial, I don't know, pandering or something. Because, you know, you bring chicken to work. Okay, fried chicken, that's about as ubiquitous a food item as you could imagine. But chicken and watermelon and then putting cotton branches on your... I don't know, man.
You know,
it depends on like the whole... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say that, like, if this woman was actually doing this, if the white woman was actually doing this to the black woman, and she's doing this consistently, in my opinion, that would be, you know, that would be targeting somebody racially and harassing them because of their race, which is absolutely something that you could take to HR, and rightfully so. You know, if somebody is harassing you and mistreating you because of the color of your skin, first of all, it's not even socially acceptable. So people would definitely be on your side. You know, and if somebody is doing that to you, you should absolutely take that to HR or whatever kind of management you can. But assaulting somebody is not the way to fix it.
Yeah, and that's what it was in this little case right here. It's like, you know, like if the girl was doing it like maliciously, the judge said, why didn't she, you know, she should have took it to her management, but she didn't because, you know, she took the law in her own hands by assaulting the girl. Like, you know, she saw the cotton on her side right there. She throws it at the girl and security escorts her out. So it's like, it was her fault that she lost her job. And now she's trying to sue. And she won, and that's why I was like, that's really jacked up right there. It's like, even if the girl was doing it maliciously, you know, assaulting her and you causing yourself to lose your job shouldn't give you the right to like win all this money that, you know, because it was your own fault.
Right. And, you know, otherwise she would have been in the right as well, which is, you know, the other thing.
Thank you, Johnny Hellcat. Who doesn't like chicken and watermelon? I'm not a big watermelon fan. I never really have a taste for it or anything. So
Why?
Why? I don't know. I just never had it. What? I like oranges and pineapple and strawberries and blueberries and all types of stuff. But
all right, I guess.
So Scribe doesn't like watermelon and you don't like fried chicken, that's dear.
But
I like all the black foods. I just want to throw that out there.
The black food.
I like Kool-Aid. Is that racist though?
No, everybody loves Kool-Aid.
No, Kool-Aid is suicidal. That's what that is.
Oh, yeah,
so, well, the thing is about those shows is that the way that now I saw like a behind the scenes thing at one point about some of these court shows. When they rule against you, you don't actually lose any money. The show basically covers it, sort of, except that like if you appear on the show, I think any losses come out of your pay for appearance or something like that. I forget. So I don't think the girl actually lost $4,800 of her own money, or at least not as much as $4,800. So
there's several people in chat saying they don't like Kool-Aid. Y'all are weird.
Yeah, that's weird. Kool-Aid is so
depends on
good.
what flavor you're talking about. I mean,
Blue raspberry,
black cherry.
everything is the best.
No. Black cherry Kool-Aid is life.
I like blue raspberry.
I'm a
Now I
tropical
really
punch,
want
right?
a blue raspberry slushy.
well, I'm sure you can come up with one. Do we
I'm
have
tropical
any-
punch and cherry.
Yeah, I just like classic cherry Kool-Aid. I always kind of like that. Or orange. Actually, orange Kool-Aid's all right too. It's like kind of tangy.
Orange Kool-Aid's a thing?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, orange Kool-Aid.
Huh.
I mean, you can taste it. I remember one time I did a taste test thing when I was a kid. Somebody put Tang next to orange Kool-Aid and they said, "Can you tell the difference?" I could tell the difference because Kool-Aid's a little bit waterier. You know, not in a bad way necessarily, but just Anyway,
And Tang's
Debo
tastes like
apparently has
some watered down
diarrhea.
orange juice.
yeah, that too. Do we have any YouTube drama of any kind that's come out today?
Oh,
I'm
do we?
seeing some crazy stuff about Tree of Logic.
Oh, do we?
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Well, edify me because I don't know.
Okay, I don't know all
Yeah.
the details, but it's
Yeah.
coming out that she's like done porn.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
No, it's like
And-
she used to be like a dominatrix or something.
Yes,
yeah, I
yes.
actually have she has like a whole page with her stats and stuff. And like there's videos coming out and all sorts of shit.
There's people on the alt-right trying to use this against her when apparently at least one of them is somebody she used to demean for money.
Oh.
So
this
It
is
was
just
actually one of our
scandalous for
submissive.
everybody involved.
Nice. Okay, so
it's still breaking, so we'll see.
she's a professional dominatrix. Interesting. All right.
Yes.
Quick, we have an update. This just in. Scrappy has sent us the update on the monkey with a noose.
Oh, okay.
And this is from a posting from the actual news station that she was talking to at the time. Discrepancies with Tampa woman's claims of monkey and racist note left on desk. In response to many of our viewers' concerns, we took another look at the case and reached back out to Seiler, the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, and her boss. A story we first reported last week, because the posting I read was from yesterday, is receiving a lot of attention on social media. Now some viewers are questioning the validity of a Tampa woman claiming to be the target of a racist at her job. In Terry Seiler's post, she claims someone left a monkey with a noose around its neck along with a handwritten note which includes the N-word signed by Whites for Trump. In response to many of our viewers' concerns, we took another look at the case. We found several discrepancies, mostly when it comes to the date of the alleged incident. According to the police report, the alleged incident happened Thursday, the 22nd of February, but Seiler posted about it on Wednesday night. When comparing the Facebook post to the police report, it may seem like she posted about the incident the day before it allegedly happened. When we pointed out the discrepancy to Seiler, she said it did happen on Wednesday, but she waited a day to tell her boss because she wasn't available on Wednesday. Seiler's boss says
Police
she's
report
worked.
would still have the date.
Yeah. Seiler's boss says she's worked for his roofing company for about 3 weeks. He is standing by her claims and is taking measures to make sure she feels safe. He said he installed security cameras Monday morning. Jesus, all right. While the sheriff's office has closed its case, the owner is reaching out to the FBI to see if they can further investigate. That's okay. Well, that's the update. I guess we'll see and that was posted today. So we'll see if anything comes out in the future. If anybody sees anything on this in days to come, by all means, tweet it to us.
My thing is, like, if it did happen, I hope they actually catch the people. But I'm saying, half of me is just like staying skeptical. Like, there's something fishy going on around here because you done seen fake outrage like this before. So it's like, you just can't really take, people's words for when stuff like this happens because so many people have faked this shit.
Let's see. Any other YouTube dramas going on?
No, that's all I know about. Tree of Logic's beating white guys.
Turnabout is
enjoyed it.
Yeah, turnabout is fair play. I do.
Did you
just
guys
can't
know she
believe
was 6'3"?
Yeah, that's a big
Yeah,
bitch.
Tree is very tall.
I'm scared.
Why are you scared of being whipped by a large black woman?
Genuinely, yes. Wouldn't you? What the fuck?
I guess it all depends on how you swing. Some
She
guys
also
apparently
doesn't
like
like
it.
me. So
And it's like what?
I don't.
Tria's like a former cop too, so yeah, she looked like she can whip some ass, like 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 literally.
Let's see. I have a kind of deep topic.
Okay.
It's more like a well, it's a posting. Gamergate has been turned into a play.
Jesus Christ.
I forget who posted this on
God.
Twitter originally, but I saw it and I reposted it. This comes from KQED Arts, whatever that is. Non-player character, that's the name of the play, puts Gamergate on the theater stage. Over the past week, teenage survivors of a mass shooting perpetrated by a former classmate were attacked online by self-proclaimed patriots. Russian Twitter bots were purged by the thousands, and social media pile-ons continued to rule the public discourse. All scenarios foreshadowed by the roiling 2014 controversy that was Gamergate. Ostensibly a movement decrying access journalism between video game developers and video game reporters, Gamergate first focused on one female developer, Zoe Quinn, whose relationship with a journalist fueled suspicion that she'd gained favorable coverage for her games during the course of said relationship, a claim which later proved to be untrue. Was it proved to be untrue?
No.
No. But it quickly spiraled outward, far beyond the gaming community, becoming an object lesson in both the act of online trolling and in combating the same. Okay, that's a lot. That's an awful lot of baggage for one play to unpack, particularly a play written before the election by the election of our troller in chief. So if Walt McGaw's San Francisco Playhouse premiere non-player character doesn't quite empty the suitcase, it doesn't feel like a deliberate omission. At its core, non-player character is just one of many possible stories that might illuminate the unintended consequences of revenge going viral. Okay, I'm going to skip. Yeah, I'm going to skip down a little bit here. From the first moment of the play, under the direction of Lauren English, we're immersed in the world of Katya, an aspiring video game developer. Oh, Katya, the Zoe Quinn analog. She draws with a stylus into thin air, and on the computer screen behind her, a digital tree grows, the first of many iterations she'll be working on during the course of the play. She begins her design session to spend virtual time with an... Okay, Zoe Quinn made effectively, what was it, like a HyperCard game. It was a paint by numbers sort of choose your own adventure game.
Yeah.
It wasn't deep. What was it? We just use was it what was it called? Twine? I think it was like
it was garbage.
Well, yeah, she used a program called I think it's called Twine. I might be mistaken, but it was essentially just like a template program that you could do to make your own quote unquote games by just like click this link, go to this link. It's just it is a tree in that sense, but it's just a
Okay, I need to interrupt for just a second.
Sure.
Shiogarath just told a joke that's not disgusting.
What?
I know.
Stop the presses! Stop the presses!
What's blue and doesn't weigh much?
Light blue.
Ah!
I like it though.
This is a major moment in our history.
Yeah.
And then somebody called him out, and he's like, "They can't all be racist."
Amy, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
No, that was important. I think that's the most important thing that's happened tonight.
Okay, the pictures from this play are just amazing.
So, if they're taking the Zoe Quinn side in this.
Yeah,
play?
Zoe Quinn is the victim of yada yada yada. Yeah.
I wonder if they include that the FBI could find no credible threat to the twat.
Was that Zoe or was that Anita Sarkeesian?
That was Zoe, wasn't it?
Both.
Yeah,
and Brianna Wu. I mean, so Anita's our woozy kid.
Yeah, are they including Wu in this play right here?
Well, it's hard to tell. I think they might be combining elements of different stories together because some of the, I don't know, it's hard to tell. They seem to be focused completely on the Zoe Quinn analog, but they might have combined like different elements of the Gamergate overall thing into this. So
also, Zoe is the opening act, so if the play is a success, then they'll do like Gamergate 2, you know, Anita Sarkeesian and all that right there.
Yeah, non-player character too. I remember that the bomb threat against Anita at a university that she was going to speak at was found to have no merit by the FBI. I don't remember. I mean, it's entirely possible. I don't remember the FBI thing about Zoe Quinn.
They're calling this non-player character?
Yes, non-player character.
Isn't it non-playable character?
No, it's non-player character.
NPC, a non-player character, yeah. That is the correct term. I'm not quite sure how that relates to the play, but anyway.
She was curious.
Yeah, so Gamergate's the play.
I've always heard it as like non-playable character.
I've heard it said like that before, but in
playing with noobs.
Yeah, in my long history of gaming, it's always NPC. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because nobody was ever saying it out loud. Everybody's just like NPC. So.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it said like that before, but that's not the common construction so far as I know. But regardless. Let's see. Should we talk about how colonizer is the best word for problematic white people? Do we care?
Sure. The best word.
Yeah. Why? What did I colonize?
I know, right? I have several colonies on me right now of bacteria.
Ew. Shut up.
We all do. You do too.
Yes. Stop it.
Your Afro taint's got plenty.
You're disgusting.
Oh, okay. So this is written by Damon Young over at VSB, or the Very Smart Brothers. The search for the perfect slur for white people has been relentless, exhausting, and mostly fruitless. I didn't know there was such a search going on. Is there an Indiana Jones for white people slurs? There are dozens.
Like, we've been searching for a long time to try to find that word that can offend y'all, just like how, you know, the N word offends us. You know, right there. We tried everything, but it seemed like, you know, it's like everything we just throw at y'all just like, I like that, you know. Like I said, you know. Yeah, we threw redneck. You hung on to it, and now that's popular right there. Jeff Foxworthy made that right there. We took, you know, you took honky, and next thing you know, you got honky tonks and all that right there. It's like no matter what we call y'all be like, hey, that's cool. I like that.
That's how you defeat them, guys. That's how you defeat them. You laugh at when they try to insult you. That's how you do it.
Thank you.
Okay, basically the search for the perfect slur for white people has been like the search for a really good fast food fish sandwich. What's wrong with McDonald's fish sandwich? Anyway, cracker is perhaps, sorry, what?
Time out.
Yes.
Where's this from? I just need...
This is the Very Smart Brothers.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Cracker is perhaps the most famous one, as it's been around so long that there are popular modifications to it, mostly cracka and the sublime cracka-ass cracka. But these feel too retrograde, like one of those insults that seems old even when it was young. It's the Morgan Freeman of slurs. Jesus.
What the fuck does that even mean?
I don't know. Honky is corny and stupid, and redneck and white trash are both classist. What?
I like honky.
Okay.
In other words, like say they didn't. That's what I'm saying. You know, they didn't stick as offensive. Like it's like we called it, and all of a sudden y'all just like, I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, black people.
Redneck and white trash are both classist and allow white people to be intra-racially classist. Okay.
Intro what?
Yeah. We can call each other redneck as a slur.
Yes, that's true. But of course, no one else can. All right.
No, what they're getting at is there's not one that just black people can use against white people.
Okay.
See?
Recently, quite a few punny attempts at finding the perfect insult have been created, most notably Wapipo, which I just find funny to say.
I love white people.
And Dwight. I hadn't heard that one before.
Dwight.
DWIGHT. Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's actually a name, Dwight Howard.
Yeah, but I've never heard it used as an insult.
This a first on me.
Okay, Dwight. Well, that's a new one, guys. Add that to your lexicon.
Pat missed one of the black people meetings.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens?
Well, ever since I voted Trump, they pretty much, revoked my card.
So what does Dwight D. Eisenhower do for you? I was like, anyway. But these might be too clever, too, dare I say it, millennial. Plus, what's the point of a slur if the people you're slurring don't even realize it's a slur? Well, yeah, Dwight. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, I think Jack Cochran has it right, because that's where my mind went. Dwight, the guy from The Office.
Oh, I never watched The Office.
And Weibo brought up Becky.
Oh, yeah.
That wasn't brought up here. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'll give commentary in a minute.
Okay. Let's see. Searching for a slur for white people seemed, useless. But in the week following the release of Black Panther, a new contender emerged. One that smashes historical reverence and contemporary snark and pith together into a tasty slur, sangria. Wow. Colonizer. Now, colonizer isn't a perfect slur. It doesn't quite roll off the tongue. Plus, it has 4 syllables, and all of the best slurs have 2 or less. And it requires at least a superficial understanding of world history to understand the context. The best slurs should work even if you slept through social studies, or if you're like me and you mostly stayed awake in class but didn't quite know what colonization meant until you read a very illuminating Twitter thread in 2011. Most important, this is almost done, only 2 paragraphs left. Most importantly,
wait. An illuminating what now?
In class, but didn't quite know what colonization meant until you read a very illuminating Twitter thread on it in 2011.
All right.
So it wasn't until they saw it on Twitter where it was like, we got something right here.
Most importantly, slurs derive their power from power. The main reason slurs for white Americans don't quite stick or pack much of a punch is that they still wield most of the power here. Slurs are meant, the rednecks and the white trash, sure. Slurs are meant to shame and induce claustrophobia, a sense of perpetual unwelcome. But how unwelcoming can a word be if your status exists as a boundless welcome mat? Colonizer, however, recognizes that dynamic and inverts it by laughing at it instead of lauding it. It's a Jedi slur trick.
Usually these guys are funny.
Yeah, perhaps colonizer won't catch. I think you're right. But I think we should give it a test drive for the next 3 months to see how it rides. Okay, so you want to create racial slurs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're promoting racial slurs. I mean, whether or not you're effective at doing it, you want to promote racial insults.
Well, there's actually, for all the joking he's trying to do here.
Yeah.
I understand the mentality behind it. If you're in a war with somebody of words and you're insulting each other back and forth, and your insults aren't landing like theirs are, it can turn you into a whiny little bitch. And that's what we're talking about here when we're talking about racial slurs. If you give a fuck that somebody calls you the N-word or cracker or any of that stuff, you're going to want to lash out and try to get them back. You're going to want to have a better slur.
Well, yeah, but it also underscores, like I said earlier, the main core point when it comes to racial insults or just insults of any kind. Being teased as a kid, if you laugh at it, it has no power.
Exactly.
It comes down when it comes down to bullies, when it comes down to insults, wars of words, etc. If you're getting down to like criminal accusations and stuff like that, that's a bit different. But if it's just like name calling and ad hominems and such, it only has as much power as you give it. It's sort of like the whole offense is taken, not given.
Fucking sticks and stones. Where did that go?
I don't know.
It got replaced with feelings.
Feeling.
Fuck off.
Yeah. So, I wish all the racial slurs just fell on laughter, not laughter at like the race, but just at the attempt to try to shame somebody because of their skin or whatever, or some aspect of them they don't have any control over, you know.
If you really want to piss off a white supremacist, when they drop the N-bomb on you, you just laugh at them.
That will light them. That will light them the fuck up more than anything.
Yep, they'll be like, oh, he too dumb to understand. Like, nah, you're just stupid, and they will fucking lose their minds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when black people call me coon and they expect me to, like, you know, come, you know, blazing up at them. I'm just laughing at them like, that all you got? Like, what, you ain't mad? It's like, no, I've been called that one too many times. It's just funny now. Like, what else you gonna give me? And boy, they get lit.
Timothy Seelbeck, thank you. We can all trace our DNA ancestry back to Africa. Wouldn't that make Africans the ultimate colonizers? Ooh.
Ooh.
Using historical logic to diffuse a bad word? I don't know. Gregory Hurst, thank you. So we're good at empires? Okay. Sup, my colonizers.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ. This reminds me of
my colonizers. Can that just be like the new thing? What's up, my colonizers?
We need a meme, guys.
Collins. Hey,
and it would be great. George Washington, like, as they're crossing the Delaware with "What's up, my colonizers" above it. That would be awesome.
Hey, Jordan 250, get on that. We need a word bubble above the above Washington crossing the Delaware.
Let me help these guys out because they're trying way too hard.
Okay.
They keep trying to put some kind of reference behind what these things mean. I mean, redneck is actually because people had redneck from working in the sun, and white trash is because they're trashy white people. The N-word has its root literally in black. So what they need to do is just call us white. That would be the same. Pick the Latin word for white, whatever that is, and like, shout it at us as we walk down the street.
So call them like blanks or something.
Yeah, Blanco.
A Blanco?
Yeah. Or if you want to be politically correct and racist, you can call us blankets.
Blankets.
Yeah, blankets. There you go.
Wait. Okay, you know what Google Translate is telling me the Latin word for white is?
What is it?
Album.
Oh,
the white album. What?
The white album.
Well, if that's really what it means, that's an amazing little fact I didn't know about the Beatles. They called their album White.
Yeah, I mean,
and let's be honest, the Beatles were pretty fucking white.
Yeah, they can't get much whiter than Liverpool.
You can you can kind of tell that that's sort of the Latin word because of alabaster.
Oh
which
yeah.
Is white.
Thank you, Point Curation. We can trace our lineage back to single cell life. That's also true. Brainless little amoeba running around.
That means that Jessica Alba, she's Mexican, right?
Yes. Yeah. Jessica White.
Yeah.
Jessica White.
Oh, yeah, okay. I don't know if she's Mexican? I don't remember.
Yeah, she is.
Nah, that's a tan.
I don't know.
That's a tan. She brown facing.
Let's see.
Dick sucking lips that I'd like to put my wiener in.
Ew.
No, she was born in California.
So she's Mexican.
Her mother's Danish, Welsh, German, and English. And her father was Mark David Alba. It doesn't say what his origins are, but anyway.
A name like Mark David?
I don't understand what SDA saw was disgusting about that. Blowjobs are great.
She said, stop talking about those girls' sexy DSLs.
Dick sucking mouths? What?
Alabama mystery solved. Well done.
Let's see. So something like it have to be like Blanco or Blancas. Call somebody a Blancas or something. Or
Blancas, I don't know. That's kind of too hard to pronounce.
Oh, that's also Street Fighter. So yeah, Blanca.
Yeah, so blankets. We're blankets. That's it.
Blankets. You want to have a blanket party?
I say we stick with albums.
Albums? Yeah, that sounds much more unique. Okay, so from now on,
with a hard S, albums.
Albums. Right. No, with a Z. Right. Albums.
It's y'all insult.
Yeah, albums. Okay, so everybody, albums.
Angry Introvert says, "Nice to see you're getting better, Ranting Monkey."
I'm gonna chat with a bunch of albums.
Yes, you are.
You see, what it is that sarcasm and bad jokes are sort of like anger to ranting monkey, like it is to the Hulk that gets him beefed up. So like if monkey's got sarcasm in his blood and a bad joke coming into his ears, he suddenly gains strength. It's great.
It makes me feel bad. We got a couple of entries into the "What's up, my colonizers." Weibo says, "What's up, my fella colonizzle?"
Colonizzle.
Colonizzle.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh God. And
My
I am absolutely
colonizzle.
one of those people who believes laughter is the best medicine. If I'm in pain or sad or anything, you make me laugh, I perk up.
Oh, when I'm upset, like I either watch stand-up comedy or Game Grumps. And you cannot go wrong with any of that because it helps. It does.
Mr. Baker says, I still like Peckerwood. I haven't heard that in a long time.
Yeah, Peckerwood wasn't around for a long time.
Oh, you know what?
I just missed it.
You know what insult came to mind? I forget what it was. I think I was cut off when I was being a professional pedestrian as I am. I suddenly said out to the guy that cut me off, I said, dill hole.
Oh wow, I haven't heard
You're a dill hole in a while. I was like, I think that came from Beavis and Butthead or something, but dill hole. I just haven't heard that in forever. All right, well, guys, we're at the bottom of the hour, so how about we just move on to chat time? If you have other creative insults or suggestions for the white slur that the Very Smart Brothers are so desperate to find, by all means, put them in the chat. And Point Curation, I know you had a story about something that happened in your country. So tell us that. Oh, and Data Wasteland, I did read the email you sent me with the letter from the public defender. Interesting anecdotal stories, I guess, of guy who gave up public defending because of people being ungrateful for getting them off of cases they were on. So I think it was part of a book.
Gregory Hurst gives us POC, people of colonies.
Oh, there you go. Oh, Point says he emailed me. Can't share the reply. Oh, okay. Well, then I won't say anything on the off chance I might dox you or something then.
Jack Cochran says Mayo Cave Beast is still one of my favorites. I've never heard that. That's awesome.
Mayo Cave Beast?
Mayo Cave Beast.
Oh,
Mayo Cave Beast.
Oh, what about toilet seat complexioned individual? That's what Gazi Kodo.
No. Toilet seat complexioned individual.
Yeah.
You gotta say it like that.
I can't possibly recreate that.
Toilet seat complexioned individual.
And Bloodwing, being a redneck, knows how to give us the best insults. He says, just call us colons, because we all know white people are crap.
There you go. Colon.
Colony down to colon.
People of colon. The people of colon. Let's see.
You know, I honestly, as long as you're not doing it maliciously, if you're just having fun with it like we are right now, I have no problem with slurs. If you want to make up ways to call me white, please do. It makes me laugh.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, like, we're sitting around having a good time. Like, there's no issue here, in my opinion.
Yeah. Save for the fact that someone's seeking a slur to come up
well,
with.
Yeah, but
so
like,
that's funny.
but we've taken it and turned it into, let's find a slur. Woohoo!
Mr. Baker, colonizers with attitude, straight out of the Hamptons. Oh, you guys are fucking awesome.
Let's see. Let's check out. Has anybody donated to the charity?
I will say this: if me and Pat were somewhere and somebody dropped an N-bomb on him in anger, I'd probably punch him in the face, though. And I know Pat would be cool, be like, just let it go. I would, because and you just don't do that. I mean,
I just love the image of like weak, crippled monkey defending Pat in a physical.
Well, it's not defending Pat; it's punching an asshole in the face.
I love it. That'd be great.
Oh no! If somebody was like actually genuinely Pat,
I'd fuck him up.
I'd fuck him up in like 2 seconds flat.
I might be crippled, but I can still bite.
That's right, monkey.
Biter.
You fight fucking dirty.
Oh, I don't believe in fighting fair. If you're in a fight, the object is to win.
Exactly.
It is not to get your ass beat on integrity.
Let's see.
I mean, like, if you're not like a legit like street fight, you fight dirty as hell, man.
Weibo says Cave Beast Becky, White Devil Cave Beast Mutant, Fake Ass Roman, I like that one. Leprosy, racist, coward are some of my favorite slurs that have been used to get leprosy, racist, coward. That sounds like a Mad Libs insult or something. What? It's like you put three words into a hat, pull them out, and
don't go together.
Yeah, it's like slurs against humanity. What the fuck?
Yeah,
is this?
right.
Midnight in Exile says it always strikes me as patronizing when white people feel like they need to defend black people against words. If me and SDA were somewhere and somebody called her a bitch, I'd punch them in the face too. It's about people being dickheads to people I like.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not about, Pat doesn't need me to defend him. Have you seen him?
Yeah. But I'm protective of my friends. I'll cut a bitch.
I mean, Pat could kill Black Panther.
Yes.
I mean, he could break Black Panther in half, dude.
Yeah, Pat's muscles aren't a suit that he's wearing.
I know, right?
I mean,
and that's my thing. It's
I think I can say this both for me and for Monkey. It's not just if somebody said the N-word. It's also just if somebody was a complete and total dick to Pat.
Or to Scribe, or to SDA, or to anybody that I like. I'm a fighter and always have been. And if you're a dick, I'll hit you in the face.
I wouldn't hit somebody over being a dick. I'd hit somebody if I was defending somebody else from a physical attack. But words are words. You don't punch somebody because somebody says something you don't like. That's the
I think we've gotten away from something there. Back in the day, if somebody was being a shithead to you, you could hit them and you have a fight and you solve it that way. And then we had civilization come in, and if that sort of thing happens, well, it's caused more problems in my opinion than it ever solved. If you look at how guys bond, most of us have had some fight with our friend, or have a friend that we at one point fought with, and it is I don't want to say rite of passage. What's the word I'm looking for? It's setting boundaries with people. And I have no problem with that. Now, if somebody, said something on here and 2 months later I met them and hit them in the face for it, that's different. But if you're provoking a fight, even with just your words, I think you deserve to get popped in the mouth now and then. I have no problem with that.
I don't know. I've taken a different logic when it comes to that right there. It's like, to me, it's like words are words. So long as you ain't calling me something and then taking a swing at me. It's like when you make it physical, that's when you're gonna catch these hands right here. Other than that, if you just call me a name and expect me to get up all of my feelings, you're basically gonna come up with something different. It's 9 to 10. I'm gonna laugh in your face, which is basically gonna piss you off, which is gonna cause you to take a strike at me. That's when I'm fucking you up.
I've never taken a swing first in my life. I've been very good at provoking people. But I think that our society has made a mistake by giving people free reign to not get popped in the mouth, because some people deserve it.
I just remembered when I was in elementary school, I had a friend of mine. I don't remember their names. It doesn't really matter. But anyway, some bully guy came up and called my friend a retard, right? And he's like, shut up, retard. And I looked at the guy, and I don't know where it came from. I must have been like 6 or 7. This is when I was really young. And I looked at this kid, and I said, "Shut the fuck up, asshole." And he'd never heard those words come out of a kid before, I guess, because he got all wide-eyed and scared. Because I heard my dad say that before, and somehow I knew that was a bad thing to say. So I said that, and he got freaked out. So it's really like the war of words actually worked in that situation. It was kind of funny. Let's see. Questions, guys. Questions. Why are there no black astronauts? There's no cotton on the moon. Ha ha. Thank you, Shirgara. So questions, comments, conspiracy theories. Yes.
Jack Cocker says a punch in the face is a natural consequence. Why are we fighting nature? For all those people who tell men we need to express our feelings, why can't we punch somebody in the face if that's what we feel like doing?
Sarah Plyer says, has anyone seen Tim Hawkins' alternative cuss words? Not that I know of. Oh, yeah. Pistols at Dawn says Priestess of Kek. Yeah, what happened to that? Why don't we get some back to some honor, the old honor system. You've offended my family in the Shaolin Temple, prepare to die, that kind of thing.
I think
BG's
there's
asked me
just some value to society in popping a jackass in the face when he's being a jackass. Now, like the Richard Spencer thing, he was standing on the corner not doing anything to anyone.
Right.
But if he was standing there, you know, berating somebody and somebody punched him in the face for it, I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Let's see.
I find it more fun to hit him in the ego now. Oh, yeah.
I actually prefer to hit people in the kidney. I'm not a face puncher because that'll hurt your hand.
Yeah, actually, you should not punch. You should not punch somebody's bones with your fist because you'll probably just break your hand.
Oh, anarcho-capitalist. Okay, Scribe, are you into BDSM? Yes. There you go.
So's Tree of Logic.
So's Tree
Not
of
at the
Logic.
moment. He's doing a podcast.
Yeah, that's true. I'm doing this. But yeah. Let's see. Scribe, I'm never sent. This is from Michael Cruz. I'm never sending my kids to public school. Reference to curriculum of fear. Yeah, man, every time I do a video regarding education and that stuff, knowing that whoever the speaker is 9 times out of 10 is someone who is overseeing the education of at least 20 children boggles my mind and makes me worried because those children are going to go on and move on. It's just, So yeah. Let's see.
Oh yeah, getting to the one that BG asked me earlier. My favorite type of ribs are spare ribs, man. Like barbecue, smoke, and all that right there. Get them to the fact where they just like fall off the bone as soon as you like even pick them up, and like those are the best ones right there.
Different from like baby back ribs.
I want my baby back.
Yeah, spare ribs, like yeah.
Thank you, Skip Mullins. Colonizers World Order, CWO. Quo.
Wait, I have questions.
Okay.
About what?
What's the difference? Like, is there a difference between spare ribs and like not?
The part of the cow they come from and how big they are.
Yeah, it's like how big they are. Like with baby back ribs, that's basically they're like a little small, like small rack of ribs. Where compared to like spare ribs, they're like they're them good big bad boys right there. Got a lot of meat on them.
I didn't know there was a difference.
Sarah Player says, Scribe, have you ever had to introduce a significant other to BDSM? True story. At one point, I did introduce a girlfriend of mine to BDSM. She'd never participated in that before, and eventually we broke up. It was amicable and everything, but she was so the first phrase that comes to mind, she was so touched by the experience, that she decided to go become a professional dominatrix for a brief time. I'm not even kidding. And then she asked me for advice on certain things before she went into it, and I was like, okay, this is odd, but that happened. Let's see. Any questions for us guys, for Pat, for anybody else? Rib City? Angry Introvert. Is there a place called Rib City? I don't know.
Pat, what do you put on your ribs?
Barbecue.
What kind of barbecue?
What do you put on your ribs?
More like I say barbecue sauce. More like I'm more of a honey barbecue like type of person than I am like compared to like like spicy barbecue or anything like that.
No, I like a sweet barbecue.
Yeah, and that's like the difference between like spare ribs and baby backs and all that right there is like, and it also depends on the cut. Like baby backs are usually coming from like the top part of the ribs, where like spare ribs are basically on the bottom. I don't know. I guess like the top of the ribs that's got like less meat and all that on there compared to like the bottom of the pig or the cow or whatever you're taking it off of. But that's what's most of the difference right there. Like the bottom part usually end up being like the meatiest part of the animal right there. And yeah, that's where you get all that juice and that fat and that.
So when are you gonna open up your own rib joint, Pat?
Ooh, man, I don't know, but if I ever do, it's gonna be on.
Your boy Pat's rib joint. I bet that would do well.
If you open a rib joint, I'm coming there and ordering one rib.
One rib? Oh,
because
okay, Chris Rock.
Oh, you know what you call it? No, Monkey.
Got that reference.
Monkey. You know what you call that one rib order? That's that's the colonizer special.
Colonizer special. All right, fuck the cup. Pour it in my hand.
Pat, if I come visit you, will you make me ribs?
Oh, I'll make you anything, SD.
Ooh. Devil Fruit Zero says, why do you think
You get the VIP section.
why do you think people overlook the fact that nearly every civilization had slaves? Because it's convenient to their rhetoric at the time, basically, whatever it is.
Because it's meaningless to our country. Our country had black slaves, so that's what's important to us.
Yeah, it's more localized. I mean, when we're talking about America, you know, slavery is an unfortunate part of our history. It's the Civil War, in part, not in whole, but in part, was at least fueled by the notion of ending it. So it does have a significant, place in our history. So you can't get rid of it or anything. But we're not talking about African slavery. We're not talking about the slavery of the Irish or anything else, because it's more, centralized here. It hurts more. It stings more. Let's say it stings more.
In my college classes, we did a lot more discussion as far as my college U.S. history classes went. We discussed a lot more the indentured servitude of Irish people and that kind of stuff. So part of it is also that in high school you kind of get like the bare bones of it, and you don't get into a lot of the real nitty-gritty stuff because, as you get into higher levels of history, you go from like history being rated PG to PG-13 to R, and then you get into like orgies where everybody died, like in college. So, that might also be it.
Let's see. Sarah Plyer says, favorite nonfiction book. First one that comes to mind is called The Stranger Beside Me, and it was about Ted Bundy. It was written by a friend of his who eventually went on to become a crime author of some note, Anne Rule, if you know who she is. It's very, very creepy book, all things considered. You guys have any favorite nonfiction books?
I don't know. Sorry.
My favorite nonfiction book is probably Kathy Sue Loudermilk, I Love You.
Okay.
Louis Grizzard used to be a columnist for a lot of newspapers and stuff, and he wrote books, and they're silly, his thoughts and stuff. Probably not what you were expecting, but yeah, I love those books. He also has one, Aim Low. Those are Shetland ponies they're riding, and
Aim Low.
Yeah. Favorite cheese. Oh, sorry, you guys, nonfiction books.
Yeah, I don't know, like other than textbooks, if I've even like willingly read a nonfiction book. Honestly, I think I'm more likely to watch documentaries because I watch documentaries constantly.
Yeah, if anything, like the only nonfiction book that did turn into a documentary that I would like was Redemption, where they basically talk about Tookie Williams, like, how he was like a leader of the Crips, and then, when he got caught in the sense death row, how he made, how he redeemed himself, while he was on there and turned into this great person. It's like, yeah, that was a real deep book right there for me. It's like, how.
There's one other I'd recommend if you have any interest in sort of like financial chicanery. The Smartest Guys in the Room. It's about the Enron scandal. There's a documentary about it, which is also an excellent documentary, but the book itself, it's just insane. And you learn so much about stuff. And if you'd read that book, and I did, before the 2008 financial crisis, it's eerie how much kind of told you ahead of time how that whole process would have worked. It's sort of retroactively prescient. It's kind of weird.
Chris Jones says time to watch George Carlin tonight before it's banned. I don't know what that's about, but his book Brain Droppings is really good too.
Oh yeah, Brain Droppings.
Well, okay, this is not like my favorite book, but every time we go on a road trip, my dad makes us listen to the audiobook for Bill Bryson's A Short History of Nearly Everything. It's a good book. It's just like the 5th time you listen to it on a road trip. It gets old, Dad. Love you.
Michael Caruza says, Scribe, did you watch the Tonka and Bering stream? No, I did not. Do you guys know anything about this?
Nope.
Bering is starting to host a one-on-one talks on his channel and the inaugural on his streaming channel.
Yeah.
The inaugural episode was today with Tonka Saw.
Does he have a name for his show?
Not that I'm aware of.
I must have been at work at the time.
No, he can't take Bear Pit because Irate Bear already has that one.
I just don't give a shit to listen to
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I like Bering, and he's been talking to people he disagrees with for a long time. And if he gets people on there that are interesting, I'll watch. But I don't give a fuck about that
one. Let's see. Oh, I forgot. I guess I kind of forgot to mention some sort of YouTube drama. The subject of one of my recent videos, if I say her name correctly, but Biat Chavette, I think it was, or Chalette. She was the lady who was teaching companies about the women's code and all that stuff. She's been having a very active conversation on a Twitter thread with Midnight in Exile and others on there about the back and forth about her ideas on teaching women to be more productive and more successful in business and everything. And I can't summarize it all here, but I just found it really interesting. And you know, she's very assertive, and she's very even keeled when it comes to responding to stuff. So I appreciate that, even if I might disagree with her on some things.
Did you watch the Jim and V stream? I only caught a couple of minutes of it. I haven't watched the whole thing.
Oh, the Jim and V.
That's on V's channel if anybody wants to see it.
Oh, was it a debate or something?
Yeah, they were arguing about. I think we talked about it briefly yesterday. V is saying that Jim won't go after the alt-right because the alt-right keep doxing people.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, they talked about that.
Did he just say Biatch? No, her name is Biat, Beate. I think that's how you pronounce it, or that's how I heard her pronounce it. Biat Chalette. She's I forget where she immigrated from, but anyway, regardless. Oh yeah, have you hit the like button? Sorry?
Weibo's apparently going on Warski to argue with someone.
What?
What?
That's what it looks like I'm seeing in chat.
Weibo, are you going onto a blood sport?
Who you battling, Weeb?
I need somebody to put Weibo's face over Jean-Claude Van Damme's on the cover of Bloodsport now. Thank you.
Get him doing his splits and put her face on that.
You know, I heard a rumor.
Kang's got from 3 weeks ago.
I heard a rumor that Jean-Claude Van Damme had surgery to allow him to do the splits, that he couldn't actually do the splits on his own. I don't know if that's an urban legend or not, but I heard that a long time ago when I was in martial arts class when I was in like 7th grade.
Wait, Weibo, are you doing it on? I'm confused.
Oh, he challenged me. No. His channel is Radio 1 or Radio 1. I don't understand.
We was Kangs and sheep.
Yeah, Weibo was Kangs. Let's see.
Jack Cochran says her middle name is Cha, talking about Biat.
Oh,
Cha.
Oh God. Let's see. Thank you, Gregory Hurst. That's not a fair fight. She's packing 43 feet of packing. That's true. Let's see. Why, Weibo? Why? This is the Lucky Pop-Tart. Hey, you know, it's exposure, I guess, you know.
I say do it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Bring the A game.
I'd go on Blood Sports to like debate the super cereal thing with Monkey. I think we kind of had that plan at one point to like go on Kumite and just like start barking at each other about soup and cereal.
You're gonna lose again. Everybody loses to me.
I know.
I don't know why y'all try.
It's not the result. It's the battle that matters.
That's true. It's the climb, as Miley Cyrus told us.
Yeah, she's got to climb.
Green Death says, "Do y'all like spicy food?" It all depends on the food. You know, I can do some type of spicy. You know, I can't do like
if it has flavor. I don't mind spicy so long as there's flavor. There's stuff that's just spicy for the sake of being spicy and it just burns and it's got, you know, you can't even taste anything after it. But if you have, anyway, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt there.
That's fine. I said it, my piece.
Well, my only point, there's a certain flavor in peppers and it's really strong in ghost pepper. I like hot, actually. I like my nose running and everything because I think it's funny. Mm-hmm. But there's the taste and it just makes me gag.
Yeah.
It's not the heat, it's that taste. About as hot as I can do that I don't really taste that as habanero. And then after that, you just get that pepper taste that's nasty.
Mm-hmm. I remember in college there was this I think it was a barbecue joint or something, and they advertised the super hot sauce they made in house. And my roommate, he loved that stuff. So he brought some home in one of those little plastic containers, and he brought it into the house we were living in, and he opens it up, and he was talking to us about something, and reflexively he reaches up to scratch his eye.
Oh,
and he was on the floor screaming. I ran over to the sink. I grabbed the spray hose thing out of the sink and yanked it over and sprayed it into his face. So I'm standing there spraying water in his face. He's going like, ah, ah.
Oh, man.
It was bad. It was bad. His eye was all red and puffed out. It was, oh yeah.
Ooh, the 1-ton hammer says, I can handle table pepper.
I know. And the wild part is I got a friend who, you know, like he grows like his own peppers. Like he does, I don't know how he does, like, you know, where he can like actually like blend them together and like, you know, like create your own like certain type of pepper. But he does that type and he creates his own sauce. And I mean, one time he brought one to work. The thing was like dark red. I mean, it's like you knew it was gonna be hot. And I don't know why I was foolish enough to even try this. So I'm like, he gave me like a little tiny spot on the spoon, and I'm just like, throw it in my mouth, see what it's like. It tasted good until that heat kicked in, and I'm like, yeah, this is killing me. This is killing me. And I don't know why. I don't know why I fool. I drunk some water, and that just made it 10 times worse.
Milk or root beer, I found works pretty good for getting rid of hot stuff.
I just grabbed the first thing I could, and man, and water just made it feel like lava.
Devil Fruit Zero says, have you or anyone else had jalapeno chocolate candy bars? Those are an interesting taste. I actually have. A friend of mine a long time ago had like their own candy company, or like their startup kind of thing, and they made a candy bar with jalapenos merged into it or whatever. It was interesting. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but it was all right.
I've had mole.
Mole?
Mm-hmm.
Mole.
Yeah, it's like,
go ahead.
It's kind of like a chocolatey, you know, like a chocolate thing that like a lot of Hispanic people put on like meat.
Oh yeah,
tastes real good.
Terry Diamantes, who's your favorite contributor at The Root, Michael Harriot or the Very Smart Brothers? Well, Michael Harriot's really prolific, so I like Michael Harriot's use of language. His alliteration and his analogies for things. Though Very Smart Brothers, depending on which one it is, I think he's also one of those too. I think he's on the Very Smart Brothers team as well. But either way, I think Michael Harriot probably just for a volume so far.
I think the Very Smart Brothers are funnier. But I like both. For all the shit we give The Root, I mean, some of their writing is actually good writing. It's just horrible subject.
Like the top 10 black Star Wars characters.
Yeah. BG wants to know my favorite blaxploitation film. Shaft.
Shaft. Shaft is the
original.
Sweetback's Badass Song. That's a real movie title, by the way.
But if you're looking for blaxploitation films, just watch I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. It covers all of them, and it is so fucking funny. I love
Black
that
Dynamite.
movie.
Also Black Dynamite. Black Dynamite's
fucked up now.
It's a bit too long. It's a bit too long, but it's awesome. Let's see. Okay. Shio Gorath. Why didn't the Japanese guy get a high five? Because Logan Paul left him hanging.
Ooh.
Data Wasteland. Mother Jugs and Speed. Yes. Harvey Keitel, Raquel Welch, I think it was, and Bill Cosby as paramedics in an ambulance company. That was a comedy that really happened, guys. Just so you know. Back when movies were weird. Let's see. Oh, Coffee. Oh, yeah, Coffee. God. Is that Pam Grier? I saw Coffee a long time ago. Blackula.
Blackula.
Yeah,
I've never actually seen all of Blackula.
Blackula.
Oh, man.
Undercover Brother. Does Undercover Brother count as blaxploitation?
I think it probably does.
Yeah, probably.
But I fucking love that movie.
Probably.
I think it counts more as parody. I just love when he's telling him that he slept with a white woman. That part is so goddamn funny. Is it as good as
Can't forget Dolomite.
Dolomite.
Dolomite,
Foxy Brown. Oh yeah, Foxy Brown.
Yeah.
I don't know if Jackie Brown would be a blaxploitation film. I mean, it's definitely an homage to a lot of it from Tarantino. Yeah.
Not only do I
Superfly.
own Undercover Brother, I have the special edition, which my wife says I should be ashamed of. But that movie's
special
funny as hell.
Edition. What's the special edition?
I have the special edition of it.
What's the special edition have on it?
I don't know.
Oh, what makes it special?
I love that he gets an orange drink dispenser in his car.
Oh, God, orange drink. Cleopatra Jones. Oh man, I gotta have Cleopatra Jones. Yeah. Thoughts on Heather Locklear? She beat up her boyfriend.
Got arrested.
Yeah, she's got no career now, and she got drunk and beat up her boyfriend.
Yeah, we talked about that last night.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Midnight Exile says Jackie Brown is pulp noir with blaxploitation elements. Well, yeah, I mean when you get like Pam Grier and Samuel L. Jackson together and all that. You know, fun fact: the character that Michael Keaton plays in Pulp Fiction, I think it's Agent Nicolette from the FBI. He actually appears in another movie, same actor, same character, Out of Sight, with George Clooney and Jennifer Lopez. Because they were filming at the same time, kind of thing. And so, in both books, Jackie Brown or Rum Punch, I should say, and that's based on, and Out of Sight were both written by the same author, so he had the same character in both books. So it's kind of a weird crossover. But anyway, fun fact. Let's see.
You got 4 minutes, guys.
Oh wow, time's flying. Guys, you have any questions or anything? Oh, and by the way, reminder, as I think we kind of forgot to mention it, at least not explicitly, starting next Monday, on Monday nights and Thursday nights, we will be on our new Lord of the Nights channel, Satsu 2 Cents. Satsu is taking SDA's seat, so to speak. SDA's last regular broadcast with us will be on Saturday night on Monkey's channel. So remember, starting next Monday, the rotation will be Satsu on Monday, Scribe on Tuesday, Monkey on Wednesday, Satsu on Thursday, Scribe on Friday, Monkey on Saturday.
Oh, I'm going to miss my SDA. We'll get Satsu, so it's all good.
Yeah. Let's see. Harvest Marvelous. Wow, I knew and liked Blackula and its sequel, but never knew about Blackenstein. Yes, there was Blackenstein. Oh, God. Let's see.
I'm really excited for you guys, and I'm excited for Satsu. I love Satsu to death.
Does this mean that Satsu is Curly or Shemp, says Jack Gunsky? Technically, he's Curly because Satsu was there kind of before SDA. There was a plan for us to have a we're going to call it that time of the month. We're going to do this monthly. What did we know? What did we know, right?
We're
but then
good
things,
at planning.
Yeah, things shaked out, and I guess technically SDA would be the Shemp, I suppose, technically, or the fourth Beetle, sort of, something like that, or the fifth.
Yeah, I always call Satsu the Lost Beetle.
Lost Beetle. There you go. Let's see. Gotta go. Chat. See y'all tomorrow. Bye, says Angry Introvert. Bye, Angry.
All right, Angry.
And happy birthday again to Chaos Eve. Let's see. Anything else? Cynical Saltine says, Scribe late. Wait, did y'all go out and get a token black guy?
Well, they have to fill the token seat. I mean, like, I'm half gay and a girl, so they kind of have to make up for it by getting a full black.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to practice, diversity. So if we have to have someone in the third seat that has to be either a female or some other kind of minority, that makes us good people, you see.
Fully diverse.
Yeah, fully diverse.
Woke.
I mean, I'm a white BDSM half Asian guy, so Monkey's disabled.
I am full colonizer.
Full colonizer and a cripple colonizer.
Triple colonizer.
Oh yeah, so
crawlonizer. Something. Yeah. Let's see.
Real quick, I do want to bring up that Satsu on his 2 Cents Plus channel is almost at his 4,000 hours.
Oh,
but we need a lot more subs, guys. We're not even at 700 yet. So go over there and sub if you haven't.
when's your next 7 Days to Die?
It will be Friday after
yeah.
the show.
Okay, so guys, go watch his 7 Days to Die videos. Watch the last one to catch up in preparation for Friday night, so you know where we left off, and hopefully those extra hours, just let it run on your computer, even if you're not watching it. Just have it playing in the background. Those extra hours will get them to 4,000.
Weibo and I are doing a ladies' night stream on Friday after Lords of the Night. We're going to do a ladies' night stream on my channel, and I don't know what we're going to talk about, but probably something gross.
Sounds par
more balloon porn.
Yeah, I'm still upset about that. I'm traumatized by balloon porn.
All right. Well, on the note of SDA being traumatized by balloon porn, that'll wrap it up for us tonight, guys. Chat, thank you so much for coming out tonight. Thank you for the donations. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things, for policing what little we actually, care about, because everybody's so gross in the chat. Balloon porn. My fellow colonizers, Monkey, SDA, thank you for joining me as always. Pat, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Pleasure.
And, hanging out. It's always fun to have you on. Guys, we will see you tomorrow night on Monkey's channel. I will have ads ready by then for all of you who like ads. And otherwise, everyone, your lives make us sad. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.